Welcome to the Bulls Guys podcast. I'm your host, Kenyatta Wright, KDub, and this is my co-host, Kataka Gillepse.
What's up?
And last year we took off for the whole season. This is our first show in a while, but we're going to be very, very consistent this year. And this game, Kataka, man, based on last game and how we played, it was just two different teams out there. The
Right,
Bulls' energy was just different.
right,
Not a lot of jump shots, just
right,
rotating the ball for jump shots, much
right.
more attacking. You get the feeling that Billy Donovan talked to these guys about the last game. It was a very disappointing game. The energy was not there. Um, soon as Kobe came in the game, he was that spark plug. Guys were moving around. Guys were in spots where they were supposed to be, receiving the ball to get the three. Kobe White
Mm-hmm,
sets a record in threes for 771 threes, passes Ben
mm-hmm,
Gordon.
mm-hmm.
Zach is second on that list, an all-time 3-point list with Chicago Bulls.
Yep.
And this game is just like a tale of like it's just two different teams between these last two games. A
Right.
very familiar opponent that dominates us on a regular basis. We were
Mm-hmm,
able to come in here and beat the Bucks 61 threes for the Bulls. When they play with that up and down pace, even back then,
mm-hmm,
like a few years ago when they beat us in the playoffs, I felt like that style bothered Milwaukee. Same
mm-hmm.
coach coaching the Bulls, different coach, Doc Rivers coaching the Bucks. What was your thoughts about tonight's game, brother?
Like I'm saying, man, I actually had them pinned as an L because I was basing everything on last game, with the turnovers and the horrible defense. But like we discussed before, the way to beat the Milwaukee Bucks, you had to be physical. The Bulls was physical for 48 minutes. If you notice that at one point, Giddey was sticking Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard was feasting on him. Then he was sticking Kobe. Kobe's was feasting on him. When Ayo took over the defensive reins and he got on Dame, Dame couldn't do too much. Dame could have do normally what Dame does. So he tried to settle for those 50-foot shots and they weren't going in the last quarter. So I think the physicality and the fact that they were playing the Bucks, they knew what they was stake. They knew it was a division rival, and it was gonna try to steal one. It's what actually got these guys over the hump in this particular game.
I would hate to think that they just came in here focused because they were playing against the Bucks. You would want the Chicago Bulls to have a channel focus like this every night because
Right,
you're trying to reach that goal of constant improvement as the season goes along.
right.
So I would hate to think that this was just against the Bucks. Now we have a back-to-back,
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma City, Giddey going up against his former team tomorrow, our first home game. Um, really would like the Bulls to win their first home game of the season against
Right.
a very young and talented OKC team that kind of found themselves last season was the best team in the West. Not to
Mm-hmm.
end the year, but they was the best team in the West for most of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they didn't end. I forgot. Did they end one or second in the West last year? OKC. I think it was one, right?
Yeah, it was one.
And the Wolves was two, right?
Yep, because they
Yeah.
was going
So
back and forth towards the very end. It came
right.
down to the last couple of games. Yep.
Yeah. So they got SGA, triple double machine. They got youth. At this point, they're not a lost young group. They're gonna come in here. They got playoff experience under the belt. This is
Yeah.
going to be a challenge for the Bulls going into this game. And then coming off of a game against Milwaukee, not necessarily a nail biter. The Bulls kind of ran
Mm-hmm.
away with this game, which was another
Mm-hmm.
surprise to me. It's not like it was a seesaw back and forth. It's like
Right.
as
Right.
the third quarter started to mount,
Right.
Kobe hit those 7 straight points, which consisted of a barrage of threes, and
Yep.
that kind of put separation between the Bulls and the Bucks. And when we went
Right.
up nine after he hit those couple of threes, it was like the Bucks just never recovered. And then he was getting in the lane and dishing it off and everything like that.
Right.
But to go up against the Milwaukee Bucks and then to play the Oklahoma City Thunder tomorrow night,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be the tough one, man. And it's not because of the opponent; it's just these back to backs are really tough, man.
Back to back. We never did well with back to backs for some years. And
Mhm.
the only difference is that we got Lonzo playing tomorrow because he don't do back to back, so they rested him tonight. So
Right.
we got another key piece on our bench, Lonzo.
Yeah.
Maybe Giddey might get up, and playing his former team, he might, ball out, and we got Caruso. I'm sure Caruso gonna try to prove something like Javante Green proved to us in that first game. And the
Uh-huh.
fact that home, man, it's gonna be tough, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm a little bit more optimistic now since we won tonight's game. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
We had 6 Bulls players in double figures. Let me first read the Bucks stats.
Yep.
Giannis Antetokounmpo had 38 points in this game and 11 rebounds. He had
Yep.
5 assists. Prince had 11. Damian Lillard had 28. And Gary Trent Jr. came off he was starting. He started with 10 points. Bobby
Yep.
Portis off the bench with 9. Now let's go to the Bulls stats. 6 players in double figures. Patrick Williams, 5 for 11 from the field, 3 for
His
4 from
best
3.
game in a while.
36 minutes for Patrick Williams, 13 points, 2 assists. Nikola Vucevic with 22 points and 10 rebounds, 4 for 9 from 3. So that he contributed 4 big 3-pointers in this, 7 for 17 from the floor for Nikola Vucevic. And then you have Kobe White, who was my player of the game and will be the Bulls I play the game. Made the difference, man. Look at this: 12 for 20 from the field, Kataka, 7 for 13 from 3, and he did this in 34 minutes of play. Zach LaVine had 25 points, 9 for 15 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3. You gotta get them 3-pointers up, Zach. It's a lot of misses, and 5 rebounds. And then you had Jalen Smith off the bench, who I felt like had some key moments out there. Hit a key 3 down the stretch to further keep the distance between the Bulls and the Bucks. This
He's
guy,
my player
Jalen
of the
Smith,
game.
he's your player of the game?
He's my player of the game. He was
Fair
the
enough.
S factor coming out the bench because after him, ain't nobody else really did anything
Right.
scoring wise on that bench.
Now, I've been pleading for Buzelis on Bullseye Group. The rookie came into this game with 2 points and 2 assists in this game.
He only played 9 minutes though.
But he only played 9 minutes. So there we go. Billy Donovan got to raise this guy's minutes. I don't know why he's not playing him, but it's hard to argue in a win. We won the game.
Right.
The Bulls, I just feel like the Bulls, niches, they got to run the ball, man. They got to push the pace. I just feel like there's not that many teams, especially when you play against a team like this that's half court and mostly big men. You know what I mean? You got to attack them. You got to attack them. Damian Lillard is the only one I know that can play that up and down style.
Yeah. But see, with him, he don't play defense. Brook Lopez is slow as hell. This team, I've always said the best, but besides physicality, you have to run on Milwaukee, man, because they're a half-court team. If you ain't running like the Bulls, they should have ran out they could have easily added another 10-point lead on this win.
They could have.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because they was already had this shooting. They missed some key free throws and some key shots, like easy 2-pointers. So, but yeah, man, they pulled this off. And if you notice back, I want to reflect on something in Milwaukee. Giannis didn't have that much help at all.
Right.
Gary Trent, who's a prize free agent, was only 2 for 5 with 10 points. They got him starting. Torian Prince, only 11 points. Besides him and Dane, they really don't have anybody because Brook Lopez is going to be hot or cold. You know what I'm saying? So they really don't.
In your opinion, the Bucks haven't done enough to surround Giannis with what he needs to win.
Nope. Bobby Portis is night and day. Besides that, they don't have anybody else, and they got a bunch of shooters that are streaky. Connaughton, streaky. DeLon Wright, streaky. So he needs more help.
Let me tell you something, man. This win to me, Kataka, is like winning 2 games because you beat a division rival.
Exactly.
New Orleans, we ain't no division rival with them. We ain't even in the same conference as them. But to beat a division rival, a former NBA champion, a team that has been a thorn in our side in the past few years. And I'm going to tell you something. I told you this some weeks ago. I think the Bulls could beat this team, man. I think they could beat this team.
Yeah.
I think they could beat this team. Like the Bulls, when they were playing Milwaukee during that year, even though they had DeRozan and they had Vucevic, I felt like the Bulls didn't find themselves as far as like the players knowing their roles. Like Kobe was raw at that time.
Right.
He knew he was good, but he didn't
Mm.
know how to pick his spots and when to dominate and when to, you know what I mean, what to do against certain teams and what he did that bother teams. I feel
Right.
like they have nobody on the team that can stop Kobe White.
Right. We was just too quick. We was too quick because Damon's not gonna stick him. Damon's not that quick. Gary Trent he ain't young. Torian Prince. They didn't have nobody really to stick with the Bulls. The Bulls is just a young, athletic, quick team. And when you got a bunch of young gunners playing, you know what I'm saying, versus an old team, them dudes gonna get tired. You know what I'm saying?
Tired.
So now,
So
my question is this: do you think also coaching, Doc Rivers coaching, probably played a part too, and why they might have lost?
I just think the Milwaukee Bucks is just they like the San Antonio Spurs of the East, bro. Just the way that they
Okay.
play the game, that they're half court and that they're very, very slow. If you're athletic and you can get to the ball faster than them and you can out
Right.
rebound and outwork them, and it's like
Right.
they're gonna have to get this guy some help, man. They're gonna have to bring in some athletic guys. They're gonna have to get younger. And I said this last year about the Bulls.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember me saying on the Bulls. I'm like, yo, hell no, ho. I'm like, I start looking around. I'm looking to my side, Kataka, and I'm looking in the back of me. I'm like, we old, and all of these teams that surrounded us now is getting young.
Right.
And they blowing by DeRozan and they blowing by Vooch. And I'm like, nah, man, AK gonna have to get younger. And he went to the offseason, got Josh
Mm-hmm.
Giddey, got
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And man, this team is exciting to watch. They have so much depth. And
Yeah.
speaking of that, Billy Donovan and moments like this when we have a back to back, when me and you were just talking about this, I
Yep.
feel that's the solution. You have to utilize these guys in a way where the guys that played a lot of minutes today, they don't play a lot of minutes tomorrow.
Right. Get them fresh legs because you still got Taylor Horton. You still got you can get the, like you said, get a rookie more time,
Right.
Dalen Terry some more time. Oh, Julian Phillips.
Julian Phillips.
He did pretty good. He did pretty good this game, even though he ain't scored really no points, but he was all over the place.
I just
He was
saying
all
like
over.
him in them switches with Giannis. That was a nightmare.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They had him down low trying to guard Giannis. I'm like, man, come on, man. Like, really? He's not gonna stop him from getting in there, man.
What do you think of that post that did on Vooch? I blame that on Io
We'll post
when
him.
Vooch got posted up or got posterized by Giannis.
I
You see
must have
that play?
missed that. I must have
Oh
missed that.
man, Io messed up the inbound pass. He tried to go save it. He threw it back out lazily, and it went to one of the Milwaukee players, and Giannis was cutting in the middle. Dude dished it. Vooch was underneath the basket. Man, Giannis just posterized. You got to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
It was ugly.
I think it's Celtics, Sixers, Knicks, possibly could be Indiana. I don't know. But it's not that many teams in the Eastern Conference, man. The
It's a
Bulls could
huge
fit
drop off.
themselves in there. Huh?
It's a huge drop off. I would have Boston, Knicks, a healthy Philly, and after that, it's a toss up
Like Miami
because
and them teams, them bottom barrel teams, they dropped off tremendously. I don't see Miami doing anything.
I was gonna say I can't see Miami because Miami really don't have anybody other than Butler. Jimmy Butler getting old. You got Bam, but he's not gonna kill you. I mean, he gonna do his thing. But in Tyler Hero, if he healthy, Duncan Robinson's is streaky.
You
They
know
don't
what's
have
scary?
nobody.
You know what's scary about that team though? They one of those teams that you don't expect a lot from. We'll talk about the Miami Heat, ladies and gentlemen at home. Also, please like and subscribe to the podcast. It would really help us out tremendously. We really would
Yes.
appreciate that. Join our Bulls family and follow us on Twitter and all our social media contacts. But yeah, they're one of those teams, Kataka. Miami is, well, they're not going to win a championship. They're
No,
not going to really
no.
do that special. But at the end of the year, they're one of those teams that you see them in that 7th or 8th seed, and you like, I don't want to play them in the first round though.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right. Them one of them teams, man, they 7 to 8 seeds. Like, oh man, they ain't gonna do it. before you know, they're in the Eastern Conference Finals. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah,
Right,
they one of those
right,
teams that you don't expect much from, and then they gonna
right.
sneak their way in them little seeds, and then you like, I don't want to play them in the first round. They make you work hard.
Mm,
They don't play like no AC, so it's like they're gonna be. I think they're gonna be like in the bottom barrel again. They're good enough
right.
to make the playoffs at the bottom barrel, but where did the Bulls fit in that? Where do you see the Bulls fitting in that as far as like against the rest of the East?
All right. So after the three I just mentioned, I mean, you still got you say like I say Indiana, possibly Orlando.
Yeah, I forgot about Orlando. I did.
Um, and then it's a toss. So you got Miami, possibly, and then you got the Bulls. So I would say Bulls maybe in that between that fifth and seven, fifth and
You know,
eighth.
you know who dropped off the map, man?
Who's that?
Toronto, man.
Yeah, they rebuilding now, man. They rebuilding. They
Oh, I
rebuilding.
forgot about Cleveland.
Oh shit, yeah, Cleveland. I'm sorry. Cleveland would be Cleveland would be fourth.
Right.
Cleveland be fourth. And then everybody fifth, sixth, seventh. Yeah, Bulls could be in that between that fifth and eighth. If they play like this, they play like tonight, they've been that fifth or eighth.
But Celtics not gonna repeat, yo.
Nah.
They're not gonna repeat, man. I think a Western Conference team is gonna win this year. I
Who would
do.
that be though? Because it ain't Denver. They had they brief window.
I don't know, man. It might beat them again, bro. They might be there.
By default,
Um,
because
got
I'm
Phoenix.
thinking I'm thinking Dallas. I'm thinking
Probably Dallas
Dallas, man.
again. Dallas again. Yeah, I think Dallas.
I
Yep.
think Dallas. Dallas
They're
is
the team to
loaded.
beat. They're the team to beat. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Dallas is loaded, and
They're well
if
coached too. Yeah.
yeah, if Boston don't make it, I see Dallas and possibly New York.
Could be.
Yeah,
But what I was gonna say, I had something in my mind for a team in the West. Oh, Denver, man. Denver, they didn't have that much of a drop off, man. They didn't have.
yeah,
What did they really lose? They got Russell Westbrook. What did they really lose? They gained.
they gained, but
And Joker's still one of the best big men in the league, bro. It's like you can't just say they're not gonna be there. I think they're gonna be there, but when you talk about the NBA Finals, the Timberwolves look different without Cat, bro. They don't look the same.
I think they took a step back, dude.
Yeah, they took a step back, man.
I mean, Randall, he's a head case. You know what I'm saying? He a head case. Yeah, he'll give you some points. Some occasional double doubles, but he a head case, man. And I would rather have Cat. I actually would get rid of Gobert. You know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna get rid of somebody, yeah, they took a step back, man.
Um, some scores around the league. Uh, see some scores around the league. The Suns are beating the Lakers. That game is still in session, 61-50. The Suns, man, listen, the Suns look like they are all right. We had enough. We about to really show what we've got.
You think so?
You seen them against the Clippers the other night?
Man, it's the Clippers.
But this the Lakers, the second night in a row. Then you got the Warriors over the Giants, 78-50. The Pelicans were 149 in the second quarter. Is being led by the Jailblazers, 45-34.
Jailblazers, huh?
Remember that?
Yeah, man, all the mugs was locked up.
I actually got a book up there on the Jailblazers too in my library.
That is crazy.
Yeah, my library is right over there. Then we got the Magic 116 to 101 win over the Brooklyn Nets.
Nets is rebuilding,
Yeah, Nets are rebuilding.
but I would not mind having that dude Claxton over Vooch.
They got Schroeder over there scoring 20 points, 7 for 12, 3 for 4 from the three. Dennis
Mm.
Schroeder over there found the home.
See how long that lasts.
and you got the Raptors beat those Raptors we just was talking about beat the Sixers 115 to 107. The Sixers lost Paul George. He had some kind of injury with his knee
Yep,
during the preseason, man.
not a good
This is why I
start.
don't believe in playing your big names during the preseason, man. It's just preseason. You're not playing for nothing. Now you possibly lost them for I don't know how long.
Right, and you already got Embiid, you know what I'm saying, is out. And then the
Then
same
you
thing with the
got
Clippers. Clippers the same way with Kawhi.
yeah. Then we got the Cleveland Cavaliers expectedly took care of business. 113 to 101 over the Detroit Pistons.
Right.
Then
Easy.
you got
That was easy.
yeah, 125 to 120, the Hawks over the Hornets. The Knicks, man, they drum Indiana 123 to 98.
So what does that tell you, man? You notice there's a lot of high scoring ass games. Everybody's like in the 110s, the 110s and the 120s.
I mean, the league is trash, man. There's no defense.
Everybody's shooting threes.
I hate this league, man. I do. I'm sorry, fans at home, but that's the part that I still love the NBA because I still watch, but I don't like the fact that it's taking that kind of a step back. You got the Rockets against the Grizzlies, 128 to 108. I got some hope in the Rockets.
I do too. I always like the Rockets. Nice scrappy young team. They like the Orlando Magic of the West to me. You know.
So that's the league wrapped up, man. But putting our final touches on this podcast, man. I was happy to see the Bulls' potential tonight against a challenge.
Mm.
When you beat teams that are not challenges or not threats or not championship contenders, you like, okay, we're gonna celebrate, and then we play against a real team, we get thumped.
Hmm.
So based on this win right here, we understand that the NBA is of contrasting styles and different matchups. I understand that. But the Milwaukee Bucks are still experienced enough to have won this game.
Yep.
And every time they kept pulling it close, the Bulls
Hmm.
kept putting them away.
Yep.
And that
Yep.
to me built character in the Bulls tonight. Because
Yep.
normally, let's keep it a beam. The old Bulls team would have lost that lead and lost the game.
Yes. Fourth quarter. Yep.
They would have lost that league, lost the game.
Yep.
So I think we're seeing now the growth period that, oh, okay, they doing something I didn't expect them to do now.
Hmm.
Now you got my attention because this is why I didn't watch last year. I'm like, okay, then Bulls, I remember was complaining, okay, don't watch the Bulls. All
Right.
right, let me watch tonight. Same
Right.
shit I saw when I was watching.
All right.
That's why I ain't watching. Let me go back into hibernation.
Right.
This team
Right.
this year just seems different. They got different faces. They got
Right.
different versatility. They have a lot to offer, man. I would be surprised if this team is not in the playoffs this year, especially if
Yep.
Lonzo's able to keep Lonzo's minutes at bay.
Yep.
Lonzo had a solid showing the other day. What he had 10 points and
10 points.
what
Yep. It was
15
10
minutes or
points.
something like that.
Yep. He played about 14 minutes.
Yeah,
10
so
points.
just keeping him at bay. They don't really need him out there,
Mm-mm.
but you get scared because you know that they're not going to be able to keep him. Because I know you're gonna try to cash out him as that dude. You just was on the injured reserve all year last year. Like
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
get a big contract like that. That's a
No, his
risk.
his contract days, his big contract days are over. Now, I would like to say, I personally hope they do keep him. Um, but play it out by the end of the season and probably get him some like little 1 year deal. You know what I'm saying? A 1 to 2 year deal. Maybe like just a little bit above vet minimum, just to because the dude, especially if he show that he's still serviceable.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But because he's a key factor. You don't have too many guards with that high basketball IQ. And the Bulls got something different. They got two guys that got high basketball IQs. You know what I'm saying? So I would try to keep them, but be leery of keeping them for like a year or two. That's it.
yeah. All right, man. That about wraps things up, man. I'm very, very proud of this win. This is something that I can build on because it's easy to say, oh, we didn't win and we're trash. but you want to see a team at its best level. So now you can compare something to that.
Right.
Now in the games in the future, if they don't play like this, I'm saying, okay, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing this. You're capable of this, and you're not
Right.
showing me this. So now I say, okay, and they be the contender, like I just said.
Right.
This is a big win. This is a team. This is a win that can give them momentum and make them believe in themselves. So I'm not gonna say like it's gonna be a cakewalk year,
Right.
but they showed me something tonight that they're formidable. They have something. They got weapons that bothers teams. And
Mm-hmm.
even in that New Orleans game, that game wasn't no complete blowout until like going to the end.
Right. That's true. Yep.
So they
Yep.
were in that game. You know what I'm saying? So they got something. They got something. The only thing is how your offense is constructed.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody lined up at the three. I don't need that. Everybody controlling the ball. I don't need that. I seen that tonight too, where they kept coming down the floor and this person turned to hold the ball and they raise up and shoot. They didn't get nothing out of those plays.
Right. Right.
Then they sent Kobe in as a spark plug and Kobe all over the floor. And I guess the Bucks is not knowing what to do with him. And they're looking at him like he a little roach running around. They're like,
Right. Right. Like where to do that? They
we
kept
can't
man.
stop him, yo. We just only can look at him. He a blur, yo. He over here, he over here, he over here, he down here.
And see, that's the thing. You got everybody in that start line or everybody on that float that can shoot threes. And if everybody fucking hitting, you bound to lose somebody. But what I want to say is this: what they showed me tonight is the fact that they can play defense.
Yeah, they can.
You know what I'm saying? They
By
they was
committee. By
yeah, they
committee.
was moving around, Bucks moving that ball around. It was like, man, it was always somebody rotating. You know what I'm saying? They was teaming up on Giannis, making him force to body him up, making him force some crazy shots, and then on top of that, they was team rebounding. So they did everything they needed to do to impress me.
Yeah, they did. And the thing that I don't get from people is that, oh, even from the teammates against teammate. Oh no, that's your guy. That's not my
Yeah,
guy.
yeah,
No, you can't think like that. You have to say, yo, we are a team. You very rarely can stop a star from scoring one on one.
hmm,
We ain't gonna guard you one on one. We gonna guard you by committee. And you see when Giannis came down, sometimes they cornered him like three Bulls cornered him, like
yep,
backed him in.
yep.
That's what you gotta do. You can't
That's what you
put
got to do.
nobody on the island by themselves like they did Phillips early in the game against Giannis. He just
Right.
gonna turn around and just dunk on him. It's not gonna affect him at all. But you
Yep,
put a lot of white shirts around him. He turned around, he got body here. He turned around, he
yep,
got white shirt here, he got white shirt back here. Where he gonna go? You
yep.
gotta crowd him.
You
You
got to
gotta
get
crowd
physical.
him and force him to let go of that ball.
Yeah,
And I
yep.
felt like they did a really good job of that. They blitzed on every single pass.
Hmm.
But got to be careful with that because teams watch tape, teams strategize, and
Yep.
they see you double teaming too much,
Somebody gonna be hitting.
it's going to be lights out. You got
Yeah.
to do that when the team is not hitting those shots
Yep.
and they milking their star. Then you like, ain't nobody hot. So who you throwing it to?
Right.
So I'm just gonna give you a hard time, and we're gonna double you up, and you ain't
Yep.
gonna have nobody to throw the ball. So
That's a
that's
good
when you
point.
utilize that.
That's a good point. Yep.
But that's a wrap, man. Shout out to everybody in Chicago that joined this podcast. Shout out to everybody around the world. This is the Bulls Guys podcast, and hopefully you guys support us and follow our channel. And on to the next game. The Bulls have a game tomorrow against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Are we doing a podcast tomorrow for this? You want to?
Yep.
All right.
Let's
So we'll
do it.
see you
Let's do
tomorrow,
it.
Bulls fans. Huh?
Let's do it.
Yes, sir. All right. Good night, Bulls fans, and go Bulls.
Go Bulls.
Go ahead and stop.
I ain't hear nothing.